So welcome to today's Greater Life CoffeeCast, and it is currently 1:48 a.m. on the morning that you are listening to this. So you're probably listening to this maybe at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm recording it for you not very many hours beforehand. And the reason for that is that I have been in the flow. I've been diving into exploring a host of different tools for greater life, and prior to that having a really deep and in-depth conversation with a dear friend about all things related to health and business and the nature of the world that we live in. And I was planning to leave her house at about 9:30, and I ended up leaving about 11:30. And so just one of those moments where, the conversation flowed and the insights, and came back fired up and still alive and energized, and dived into setting up my workstation with a new ring light and microphone, and then diving into a host of different things that we could use to build out the community for greater life. And so the message here is, when it's flowing, flow with it. And I appreciate I may be sharing this from a particularly ADHD type lens, which is, of course, like hyper-focus is one of the characteristics of ADHD. And so definitely right now I've been in a bit of a kind of hyper-focus mode. And I know that there are going to be times when, whether you have any kind of neurodivergence or not, you probably just get into the zone. And I think there's a difference between getting into a kind of scroll hole of doom, right, where you're just scrolling, and before you know it, 2 hours have passed, versus me genuinely right now diving into going, okay, could this work? How might this work? Is that going to be valuable? Is it better than this? Is it better than that? And genuinely finding out and taking the time to explore things of value, and looking up and realizing, oh my gosh, it's 1:30. How did it get to 1:30? So I think I share all of this because in previous CoffeeCasts and in previous newsletters, I've shared this notion that progress is not linear. That you will typically, progress is the result of lots of seemingly small linear steps that then compound to create the conditions for a quantum leap. And if you're a long-time listener or reader to anything we put out with Greater Life, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the work of Daniel Priestley. And I always remember him talking about the importance of celebrating the small wins so that you set up the conditions for these quantum leaps. And it may well be that when you get in the zone, you're laying the foundations, you're sowing the seeds for quantum leaps, because you allow yourself to be in a state where you are just immersed in the work you're doing. And it could have been easy for me to go, oh my gosh, it's midnight, I should be in bed right now. But actually, my whole system was alive with, let me dive into this. Right now I'm in the zone. And so when you find yourself in the zone, the invitation is to stay there. Because equally, just as progress is not linear, and that you can make quantum leaps when you get into flow, equally, you will need time. And the science of flow states is really clear on this. Just like an athlete recovering, allowing their body to recover after a match or a hard training session. So you cannot just simply turn on flow every minute of every day. Flow states are something that there is almost like a struggle before you enter them. And then there needs to be a period of recovery so that you can access that same level of flow state again. It's not a kind of, it's not a simple and automatic process. There does need to be a cycle of struggle and challenge, and then you drop into flow because the challenge demands a quality of focus. And as you then come out the other side of flow, as I am now, then there's going to need to be a period of rest and recovery so that you're ready for the embodied and cognitive load that comes with entering flow states and wrestling with the necessary struggle and challenge that drives the focus that creates flow. So, when you're flowing, let it flow. And my question as we round up is, how are you consciously creating the conditions that can allow for a deep quality of focus? Because focus drives flow. And so I take my own example here. Right now, I have 0 distractions. I'm in a single room where I have all the things I need. And I have a really well set up workstation that allows me to be totally focused and in the zone. And I also have other ways I know that will support me to enter that state, be it boulder hopping, be it bodyboarding, be it playing with my dog. All of these are small and simple ways that I know I can quickly access the conditions that are going to lead to flow. And so that is my question I leave you with, is we know the benefits of flow states. The emotional, almost the spiritual benefits, the productivity benefits, the creativity benefits, the innovation benefits, the mental health benefits. So how are you cultivating the conditions for focus and flow in your life? And what can you do if perhaps things are not quite as curated as they could be? What can you do to change that over the weekend, to set you up for a supremely powerful week to come? All right, I'll see you tomorrow.